welcome to Blackfeather Guild. Before we go in and say hi to the cast and get started with the show, I wanted to talk very briefly about viewer actions and a little bit about sponsors. So first off, there's a number of ways that you can actually actively participate in the show through viewer actions. One of the easiest ways to do so is through retweeting the game tweet. You should see that somewhere in chat if it's not in there already. But you just click on that link and hit retweet, and for every 5 retweets that we get on that, it will add a bonus to the cast pool and the game master pool. Now, in most cases, that's going to be an extra d6 that they can add on to any roll. Basically, a great way to use that is if a player is almost meeting a DC, but they're just not quite there, they can grab one of those d6s from the cast pool, roll that, and then add that to their roll. Basically, is how that works. Same with the GM. So that's one of the easiest ways that you can participate that way. Another way is through guild coins. That's our Twitch channel points. If you look at the rainbow colored icon, it should have the Blackfeather Guild crest on it. It should be right below your Twitch chat box. If you click on that, it'll show you all the different things that you can get with those. The biggest one being plot points. Now, plot points, you can see an example right over here. They all work pretty much the same way. It's just a matter of how big of an impact they have. So for the example, when we've got 2 plot points, the player of your choice gets something moderately helpful or unhelpful. Enter any suggestions for the GM into chat, or you can have the GM come up with something entirely on their own. So just choose if you want it to be helpful or unhelpful to the party, and that's kind of how you can use them. You can throw in your own suggestions as well. How those work: 1 plot point is something trivially helpful or unhelpful. 2 is moderately, 3 is very, and 4 is very to the entire party. So if you want to do something to help the entire party or really throw a monkey wrench in their plans, 4 plot points will do that. So that's guild coins. And then finally, we've got donations. So if you want to help out with keeping the lights on in the place, so to speak, there's a number of ways that you can financially contribute. One of those being coffee.com/Raven or raven.rocks. You can see both of those examples down there at the bottom. Those are the addresses to do direct donations. You can also do Twitch subscriptions or bits. Those work the same way. And then finally, Patreon. We've got a Patreon, which you should see in chat here any second if it's not there already. And our Bard tier patrons and higher get credits towards viewer actions every month that they can use on any show that they would like. You just have to let us know in chat how you want to spend those, and then we'll hand those out. So some very cool stuff. Before we hop over to see the cast, one last thing to mention is a couple things on this chart here. We've already covered the D6 and the plot points, but the triple crits, what that means is you can gift auto critical successes. And you can, it's triple because you get 3. You can divvy those out however you'd like. You can do 2 to the cast, 1 to the game master, all of them to the game master, however you want to do it. So they work much like the D6s. The cast members just grab that when they're available and they really need them and use them. So it's pretty cool. And then finally, the last one, introduce an ally or enemy NPC. Just give us a brief description of what you want this character to look like, kind of their character concept and a name, and let us know if you want it to be an enemy or an ally to the party, and the GM will basically take that and run with it. So really cool ways that you can participate. Lastly, I just want to take a quick moment to mention our sponsors. If you look at the logos down below, that's who's sponsoring this episode, and we'll talk a little bit about that before we introduce everybody as well on the next scene. So yeah, check all this stuff out, and thank them for supporting us, and thank you for being here and watching. Let's go say hi to the cast. Hello, everyone. Excuse me. Welcome to the finale. I'm really excited. With that, I will post information on the sponsors in chat while Zan takes it away with the introductions.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Raven. So we are live with the final episode of Empires and Epitaphs. It has been just an absolutely wild ride from beginning to end with this fantastic group of players, and yeah, so I'm super happy to launch back into things, and we'll see where the cards fall in the war of the Celestials versus the town of Undead. But before we get into that, let's go through and let our players introduce themselves, tell you who they are, where you can find them, and what they, who they are, what they do, and
Thank
where you can find them.
you!
Yeah, that sounds. I've only been doing this intro for an entire, season. I should have this stuff down, but that's where we're at today. So we're gonna start with Face today. Who are you? Who are you playing? And where can we find you?
Hi, yeah, I'm Face. I am playing Miev, who is a smuggler, half-orc rogue with a super bad memory. They're also an arcane trickster, so I get to use spells, which is fun for me. And you can find me on Twitter at GameFace, and that's really about it.
Excellent. And we're going to move over to Hildian.
Hi, I'm Hildian. I'm going to be playing Torino. He is a Revenant Goliath Paladin of the Rubber Chicken Order. And you can find me here tonight, and then I kind of vanish into the wind for a little while.
Awesome. Lady Di.
Well, Eldine doesn't vanish too far. I know where he is. But yes, I'm really excited to be here. I'm Calliope. You can find me on Twitter at Calliope, thinking about gamification, education, and working with middle-sized children. And you won't see me here next season, but hopefully maybe the season after that. And maybe you'll find me in chat. So I'm excited to be here. I play Lady Di, the undead revenant who... she's just not having a good time right now.
Nope.
But the audience hopefully is.
Yeah, about to come face to face with her mortal enemy yet again. Kat. Same question.
Hi, I'm Kat. Kat and Schrodinger, or Kat named Schrodinger on most venues. I'm playing Locrian, the ghost of a tiefling bard, can up until recently could not talk. Now he can talk, and I don't know if that's for the best, but we'll find out. He is super nervous about fighting all these Celestials, and after this, you can find me on the finale of Vampire, and then I don't have anything scheduled for next season, but that might change, and I'm definitely interested in doing one-shots, so I'll be around. Find me.
Excellent. And last but most certainly not least, Raven herself.
Hi. I'm Raven. I do, obviously, tabletop streaming and just about everything else involving tabletop, from game design to art to being a professional game master. And I play Bark in this particular campaign. She is a little rock gnome that's basically a Ferengi in how she treats life. It's pretty funny. She'll rip off like anybody she thinks is like bad or just somebody she doesn't know, but she's pretty good about taking care of her friends. So she's ready to kick all these people that are invading her town because they're getting in the way of business. And Bark just got access to an item that I've wanted to use in D&D for literal years, so I'm very excited for this evening.
Yep. And once again, I'm Zan. I'm running this exciting little whatever the hell we're gonna call this this adventure. And I'm a professional DM and content creator for 5e and World of Darkness and a whole bunch of other games out there. If you need to get a hold of me, you can find me at twitter.com/insanityttrpg or at my website, insanitygaming.com. So, with no further ado, I think this would be an excellent time for us to pick up where we left off. You had all been led into Bob's uh, storage unit. It's basically an extra dimensional storage unit. Sure, we'll go with that. And in this storage unit, you find almost an unlimited magical arsenal at your disposal for to help you deal with the upcoming sources of conflict. All kinds of armor, items, equipment, weapons. You name it, you dream it. Bob has probably made it during his several hundred years of boredom. Additionally, at the back of the cavern, you find none other than the Bone Lord himself, imprisoned in a cage and sulking. And that is where we're going to pick up. So the scene is y'all's.
So he was here the whole time.
Lady Di is just beside herself, angry at seeing him. And she turns around to everyone. She's like, no, I am not working with him. I'm not doing anything but killing him. And this is terribly gauche. Just throw him upon us if we've known he's been here the whole time. And I'm out of here. I don't care. I'm not working with him. This is not going to happen. And she storms off.
Well, I wasn't really suggesting that we should work with him. This is just where I put things. And I needed to put him somewhere. So here's where I put him, says the skeletal visage of Bob.
And as Lady Di leads, she's giving him the finger. Like, she's not even listening. Maybe it's the mage hand as she's out.
Are you giving the finger to Bob or to...
to Bob. But then also to everyone, really. But she's not very happy with Bob either.
Okay.
Mark's gonna call out to Lady Di and say, what if we trebuchet him at the bad guys?
She's gone. No. This is absolutely not a thing that Lady Di will even talk about.
Okay, well, so much for Operation Yeet.
Okay, so y'all can take what you want. Don't get too close to him. He's kind of sulky right now. Keeps telling me to eat my shorts. Forgets I don't have a digestive tract.
Or shorts.
No, generally not. No, generally no shorts.
Bark's gonna look around, and Operation Yeet, yeah. As discussed, we'll pick up a mind shielding, because that seems like a good idea against things that can do mind talking. Where's that? Brass Horn of Valhalla. I think is going to come across the other item we discussed, and I think it's going to have questions for Bob. So Bob, what's this round thing with like this little metal piece?
Yeah, don't touch it. It's I drank too much one night, and I put things together that weren't supposed to go together.
That sounds exactly like something we need. What is
it? It will rip a hole in the material plane. Briefly. I think.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't use it. I don't have a death wish. Undeath wish.
So is it like what happens when you rip a hole in the material plane? I mean, I'm pretty smart, but I didn't do any like book reading on all this magic stuff.
It could throw things from here to the astral plane. It could let things from the astral plane here. It could, I don't know, maybe move everyone to the ethereal plane. I'm not entirely sure. See, it's a bag of holding and a portable hole, and those things aren't supposed to go together. And
Oh, right.
yeah,
I
pretty
think I've
much
read about this.
everything that you learn in the first like 6 weeks of Artificer College is don't do this exact thing that I did. So yeah.
Okay, I think Operation Eat is back on the table. It's just going to be that I'm going to eat this at the Seraphim people. That sounds like a good idea. I'm gonna pick that up and put it in a pocket or something like that. I think we lost somebody.
We lost
Uh,
cats.
Lost cat. All right, so the cameras will be a little weird for a minute, and then when Cat gets back, we'll do our musical cameras.
Yeah. All right. Miev, what grabs your attention? Oh God, that's terrifying. Stay in your frame, Lady Di. Stay in your frame. Scooby Doo bullshit up in this thing.
Yeah, Miev is going to pick up a cloak of protection, and then look around at the magical weapons and find a rapier of wounding.
Okay.
And then I think they're going to keep an eye out for something for Torino, because he's not here. Right? Because we were going to try and take something to him.
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check.
It's a 22.
Okay, you are able to find a bag labeled things Torino would probably like.
Great. I'll pick that up.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Well, Cat's not here, so we can't ask Cat what Cat finds. So Bob looks over to Bark and goes, "Well, you want to do anything with the Bone Lord, or?"
I mean, hey, Bone Lord,
What?
you want to help?
Eat my shorts.
I'm sure Bob could prepare those wonderfully, and we'll put it on the menu if you'd like. But do you want to help there, still be a town? Because if they make their way up here through the town, one, the town is gone, which would be bad. But also, if they make it up here, then they're probably going to kill you.
Psh, they can't kill me. I'm a lich.
Aren't they like the whole celestial thing and the liches like they're like on your level? Especially if there's 4 or more of them.
His eyes kind of, the places where his eyes would be, kind of twitch slightly at the mention of 4.
And also you're locked up.
Well, yeah, I mean, but if y'all couldn't find me, then they probably can't find me either.
Oh, if you don't help, I'll put lots of signs up. I'll even have Bob here make some lights, like running lights. It'll send them right your way.
Bob touches the wall. You see, Bone Lord is here. Just light up in neon text.
See, there you go. But I mean, if you think you can take 4 or more of them while you're locked up in here, and they have a lit path to where you are.
What's in it for me?
Well, I don't light up the way to where you are, and they don't come in here and kill you. That's a pretty big bonus.
Yeah, but then they'll just kill me out there.
But out there, you have a fighting chance, and we'll be helping. And
Y'all
I'll
gonna
talk to
give
the
me my
others.
town back?
That's funny. No. But maybe I could talk to the others, and we could see about giving you, like, I don't know, like a big mansion, or like a something on the outskirts that you can rule over.
Hey, we got a cat back.
All right. Sorry for background noise. If could have everyone turn their cameras off. We're going to do musical cameras to get everybody in the right spots again. And I think if we start with Cat, now it should actually go to the right spot. I think.
Thank you!
Cat's still connecting to audio.
Oh.
Oh,
Thank you so much for that resub there, Michael.
so much. Excuse me. Still connecting.
Oh no. We jumped the gun.
Good. I was about to say, hey, Cat, how do you want to spend that viewer action stuff? But never mind.
Yep. Let's see.
Cat dropped
So
again. So yeah.
Oh,
if everybody
goodness.
can turn your cameras back on. We'll get it next time.
no
he
worries.
gets back on. Almost everybody's in the right spot now, at least.
Yeah. You know what?
Elijah.
Four out of 6 ain't bad.
Hildine, you just get to be low green for a little bit.
Yeah, so the Bone Lord goes, a house. Whoa.
Super robot.
Well, that was one of the scarier things I've heard today.
Don't worry about musical cameras. I can just swap out the two. At about 1/10 of speed, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna keep doing
There
that.
you go. I
Okay,
think you might have
that sounds
broken
better.
Hill dying over here.
Oops.
There we go. That sounds much less roboty.
Much better.
Yeah. So, yeah, Bark. The Bone Lord looks at you and goes, "Can I have my house back?"
Well, I mean, a lot of people kind of live here now, so how about we build you a new house?
That's bogus. This is. What about my house? Did you go through my room?
I'm pretty sure Lady Di did.
Ugh. Harlot.
Well, let's put it this way: we can build you a new house, and it can be on the outskirts of town. It can have a nice garden, whatever you want to have there. Or, the other two options are: we win and we just leave you locked up in here, or we lose, and my last act on this earth is to direct them where to come kill you.
Make a persuasion check.
I am on it.
It's that new reliable talent.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Just a reminder to the cast that y'all do have 4d6s or 5d6s. Did you add the one from Meeple and Raven?
Don't recall if I did. Had some unclaimed gifted subs, so I'm just gonna go ahead and toss another 2 in there.
Okay. Yes, we all have 66 and 1 crit, and I also have 66 and 3 crits. But with a 24 on your persuasion check there, Bark, Bone Lord looks reluctant, but says, "Fine."
Great, great. I'll go share the plan with everybody else, and then we'll get you suited up here.
Okay, Kat, what do you find in Bob's armory for you?
I definitely find something that. Can I go above the table for a second?
Sure.
So,
I mean, it actually depends if you can levitate or not, or if you can jump really high. But
huh?
it depends if you can jump really high or levitate, as to whether or not you can go above the table.
Oh, yeah, I can do both. Like I'm having a hard time finding common items. So if I were to subtract one plus one to the necromancer, can I do another uncommon item?
Yeah, you could have it the necromancer as a +2 total with the Bane enchantment. Yeah.
Okay, so I want a robe of useful items.
Okay. You find a gaudy robe with a lot of pockets and patches.
Yep, and it's pretty rad. Oh, you choose the other 4d4 patches.
What's it called?
Robe of useful items.
Okay, robe of useful items.
I also find some sort of magic that will level up that necromancer.
You find a dangling keychain that is just a giant.
Nice. I was thinking truck nuts, but like that works too. That's even better. And oh shoot, I had the other thing, but I forgot about it. I'm still looking a little bit. Did everybody else find their things?
Yes, everyone else has found their things, but we can hop over to the scene of Bark telling everyone else that she has found a way to get the Bone Lord to cooperate.
Ooh, yes.
So we can hop over to that scene then.
Yeah. That sounds like a good idea.
All right, so Bart will try to get everybody together and basically relay the conversation that happened. Say, so basically we let him out. We organize a house to be built on the outskirts of town for him, and he'll help us get rid of the Order of the Rubber Ducky. And amazing. He understands that if doesn't help us, then we're basically gonna alert the Celestials to wherever he is, and that probably would not end well for him fighting by himself.
That sounds good to me.
Oh, it was a pearl of power. I also found a pearl of power.
Okay. So in addition to that, your coat of many strange things, in addition to the basic patches, it has a window, 4 potions of healing.
I'm gonna have to write this down.
Yes, you are. 14 and 6. 1 bag of 100 gold and 1 iron door.
So 1 window.
1 window. 1 iron door.
1 iron door.
100 gold.
100 gold.
And 4 potions of healing.
Sweet. Are those like standard healing potions?
Yes, those are 2d4 plus 2 each.
Cool.
All right. So, how does everyone react to Bark's news of the Bone Lord's cooperation?
Lady Di is not there. She isn't. She is absolutely not there. She is not coming back until Locrian comes and finds her and makes it better, because this is well beyond gauche at this point.
Lady Di, did you grab anything from the shack?
Of course she did.
Okay.
while she was having her mage hand give the figure, of course she grabbed something. She's not eating it.
While I'm assume that she just found a very fabulous Lady Di printed swag bag and just grabbed it as she stormed out.
Yeah, I actually think probably Locrian swiped some things that he knew she'd like. But it's a ring of radiant resistance and a ring of mind shielding and a ion stone of leadership. And the stone of leadership gives her more charisma.
Oh, goodness.
And the ring of radiant resistance gives you resistance to radiant damage. And the ring of mind shielding, and this is gonna freak you out, helps shield your mind. So there you go. Awesome. She doesn't like sharing her mind space with anyone except Locrian, probably.
Might actually be
we'll never know about Terrence.
There's already 2 voices in there. That's enough.
All right. So Miev and Locrian, how do y'all react to the news of the Bone Lord's willing cooperation?
Lady Di is not gonna like that. Not sure if I like that. But hey, I got his sword and I whip out the necromancer and I whip it around a little bit. And that's what I do.
All right.
What does the Bone Lord say to that?
You're showing it to the Bone Lord?
Is he in front of me?
He is not. Like, Bark has left the room, I assumed.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I don't think that y'all are in the same room as the Bone Lord anymore.
Can I ask the sword what he thinks?
Yeah, well, my grandson's a bit of a jackass. So I couldn't say that we could really trust him, but he might be of some use. He did keep this town under pretty tight control for 200 some odd years, so he's definitely got power on his side.
Power or laziness? I feel like at the point that we actually decided to take him down, it was pretty easy.
Well, maybe he's gotten a little rusty in his old age.
At least you aren't. And I whip him around. I brandish him again, or flourish.
Yeah, thank you for the new little shiny thing there. It makes me feel, 1,000 years younger.
Only 1,000?
I'm very old.
Okay. I trust you. Against my better judgment.
Okay. Miev, how are you reacting to all this?
I not sure I even remember why we were trying to get rid of him in the first place. I've been too scared to tell Lady Di that, though. So, I trust you, Bark. It'll be fine, right?
It'll be fine. Probably.
Yeah,
and the worst that can happen is goes and tries to join the other side, fight with the celestial people, but I'm pretty sure that's next to impossible for them to team up.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna accept him in their ranks.
Yeah.
this is definitely an enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah, so
Except he's not my friend. He's a dick.
Yeah. The enemy of my enemy is the person that I will barely tolerate until this conflict is over, and then he can move to the outskirts of town.
Absolutely.
So it's little risk, high reward, I think, which is, that's a rarity in life. So I think this is a good call.
Yeah, well, he's a jackass. But if y'all think that he's okay, he never cleaned his room.
Well, we can have a messy house out in the country.
Are you saying we shouldn't? Are you saying we shouldn't trust him, Mr. Ford?
No, not particularly. Just if that's the direction y'all want to go with it, then we should probably get him out of that cage.
Oh, before you do, Bob, is there anything that you have that would be able to track the Bone Lord once he's out of the cage?
Yeah.
I think that would be some good insurance.
Do we have a leash of holding?
Oh my god.
I don't think that's a thing that exists. As I flip through the...
Oh, but I have this. And he takes out a bright, shiny, a hot pink with gaudy gemstones on it, dog collar.
Oh, that'll work.
And he goes, "This is what's called a plot device. It normally prevents whatever's wearing it from dying and inspiring the owner to go on a murderous rampage spanning 3 movies. But if we put it on something undead, then it could just rip their unlife away and make them living again, which I imagine would be very frustrating."
That would be very dangerous.
Mark takes a closer look and goes, "Huh, it's an interesting trademark here. Looks like it's made by somebody named Chekhov."
Oh no.
It's just Chekhov's gun. It's, yeah.
I'm terrible. Zan, your face right now, I'm sorry.
I don't even catch the reference. I'm too ashamed to admit it.
Oh, Chekhov's gun's a writing thing where it's like if you introduce an item that like you put attention on, it has to be used.
If there's a gun in the first act, it has to be shot in the second act.
Yeah.
Y'all nerds. Okay.
And you hear from the other room Lady Di being like, "I'm still pouting out here."
So I go out and I'm absolutely going to check on Lady Di.
Now when you find Lady Di, she's like, she's really upset, and she turns to you and she says, "Oh, Locrian, look, these eyes that you've given me are broken again. They just keep running water down my face, and it makes it seem like I'm upset."
Are you upset?
No, of course I'm upset.
Then they're not broken.
You have to fix them.
I put my fingers in your eyes and I cast mending.
It is a long, awkward 1 minute.
No, it is absolutely fine. And Lady Di gives him this really big hug, and is even though he's kind of stuck in her, his finger stuck in her eye. She's like, she's hugging me. She's like, "This is terrible. This is terrible, Locrian."
Well, at least he's still alive, and you can still hate him, and you don't have to die.
No, I can't hate him if he's helping us.
He's not helping us. He's just being...
He is so gonna help us. I know he is. Or he's just gonna die, and either way, it doesn't help.
He could also double cross us. They just gave him a plot device that can make him not undead and capable of
No, but we have to.
Don't
But
tell the
you're
king.
missing the point, Locrian. You're missing the point. The point is we have to save the town.
Yeah.
And we can't, like, we have to do that. Even if it means, I mean, I can't work with him. If I work with him, I'm literally going to fall apart. But if I can't have everything die because then I would still fall apart.
I gesture wildly around and I'm like, there's plenty of other people you can work with. You don't have to work with him.
It's not like that, though. That's not what. Being a revenant, it's not like you just choose who you hate the most. It's not a top 10 list. I mean, that'd be great if it was. And I mean, I think we could come up with a pretty good list. I mean, you know that we have one. But it only the number one counts.
What about Park?
Why did Terrence save me?
Because he's not your, the bane of your existence.
But, you know, like...
I don't know. I tried to ask him and he said, good luck, kid, and then disappeared.
Way! And there were so many other souls there, and I didn't know any of them, and it was very gauche, and no one was being friendly, and we didn't even have outfits, and I didn't like it at all. And then now I'm back here, and there's nothing I can do to fix this. Every time I try to fix it, it's too much. And now the only way to fix it is to have this stupid Bone Lord either be part of it, or, I mean, I could just kill him right now, and then we'd still both be dead. And we have to figure out how to save it. How to save the town, and we gotta figure the rest of this out later. I'm the head of the tourism bureau.
I know.
I can't not have.
If you're not head of the tourism bureau.
But we have to have tourists, and we can't if we don't have a town. How will I be the head of the tourist? What if there's no tourism bureau?
What if there's no town?
I know. That's the whole point.
You can have a tourism bureau without a town, I think. Maybe. Is Fantasy Mount Rushmore a town?
We have to figure this. We have to figure out how we're going to save the town so that you can have a festival. But I don't know how I'm going to be there.
Do you have a phylactery?
No. I'm not a lich. That's imagine. Can you
So
imagine?
gauche.
That's so gosh. Really?
Oh dear.
Oh. I don't like.
You can still hate him even if he's working on our side.
It's not the same. It's not the same, Locrian, and you know that.
And you can know that because Locrian has a ghostly tear coming down his face. Because he doesn't know what to say or how to help.
I don't know. I just, you know, when Terrence, when he showed back up and his song in his music box was that song that's always in my head, and I was like, oh my goodness. What?
Do I still have that music box?
Yes.
I'm gonna open it and try to put it on top of Lady Di's head.
No, it's not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the girl from Ipanema,
But like, I'm gonna try and put it on top of your head, like, to see if it'll suck your soul out, and like, we can keep you alive and a ghost.
You're hurting my hair. You're hurting my hair!
Oh no. Oh no.
Can Bart go looking for the two of them after a little bit?
Yeah, I think you can find them really easily. They are making a scene.
Okay.
Of course we're making a scene.
Bart's gonna poke
we'll
her head
follow
in
as well.
and be like,
Yeah.
What's the problem here?
The problem is your face. Go away. Locrian.
Lady Di feels unusually charismatic in this statement.
Yeah, she looks at Locrian and goes, what's the problem now? Just ignores Di.
I think part of the problem is the fact that you were going to be the new head of the tourism board if Lady Di goes away.
Oh. Did you tell her about the that I'm taking over all the design and fashion stuff in town? Um, if she's gone.
No, I wanted to spare her the heartbreak.
Oh, okay. um,
And Locrian doesn't know if this is helping or working at all, but like he's grasping at anything right now.
Mark's just
if I
trying to
can
get Lady Di as
I
angry as
can-
possible.
get both of y'all to make a deception check.
Sure. Oh, and
Since
she
Lady
dies
Di
in
has
code.
already rolled her
I
insight.
rolled an insight check because I was trying to see if I would buy into this at all.
Yeah, and if she dies, then I'm definitely taking that battle umbrella and rebranding it in the Bark's Tavern colors for sure.
Ooh.
Have to. It would be such a waste of a beautiful battle umbrella. And if you're going to be the head of the tourism bureau, then you have to sit right next to me, and I will tell you all of the things you need to know. And there's many, many things. Come over here right now.
I
I think
think
I'll just wing it.
I think with that deception roll from Bark, I believe what Bark says about the battle umbrella, and I'm pissed. And I'm like, no, that's mine.
This
Okay.
isn't the time to fight over my belongings. You'll have time to do that if we save the town. But if we don't save the town, then no one will get the battle umbrella.
I'll let
Except for
my
maybe
uncle.
one of those terrible seraphs, and that won't match their outfit at all. So it's enough of this. We've had enough of this conversation. We must just say, come along. We've got to figure out how to save the town.
Would Bark know what Lady Di's most hated fashion style or color combination would be? By chance.
Lady Di, would Bark know this?
I'm not trying to be difficult, but I don't think so, because why would she ever talk about that? That would be like the worst thing. She would never wear that, and she would never talk about it. So you might be able to figure it out from what she's never worn, but she wouldn't. You think she's gonna give that kind of ammo to just anyone?
No, I just was thinking I wonder if maybe she ever went oh, I hate that style, it's so gauche or something like that.
Go ahead and make an insight check to
Okay.
try to decipher her fashion choices based on the outfits that you've seen her and the statements of what is and is not gauche that she has made.
Okay, that's an 18 on insight.
Okay. There are some colors and combinations that Lady Di is not a fan of. However, I don't think you could definitively pick one as being her most hated.
That's totally fine. Just with that information, Bark's going to go into an explanation of how she's going to design uniforms for all of the city workers in the town, and how they're going to be that, in one of those styles and in that color combination, and make sure to pick the colors that absolutely clash with each other. And she's just going to talk about how she's going to do that as soon as Lady Di is gone.
And Lady Di is not amused, and she's looking. She's like, "That is stupid, and a waste of time. We only have a certain amount of hours before those seraphs are going to come and ruin this whole town. And what you're thinking about is absolutely terrible outfits. They will never vote you in.
Oh,
What are you going to do with What are you going to do with your new best friend? You've got to do something with him if you've taken him out of the cage. That's
Oh,
what you
bone.
should be thinking about.
What if he gets power again?
I
was just going to put him, in a house out in the country outside of town, and that way you still have something to hate, and then if you don't hate him, well, I can give you plenty of reasons to hate me.
Bark. Locrian and I have been undead for 234 years. Do you think if it was that easy to just put the Bone Lord somewhere else and babysit him for a while, we wouldn't have come up with that before? You don't just get to come into our town and live-splain it to us like only living people can figure it out. We've been here for 234 years. You think that oh, I'm alive. I've been alive for like 15 years or however many small amount of years I've been alive. And now I just know everything, but you don't. You think you know everything about the Bone Lord, but he's terrible. And not just because, I mean, he is terrible, right? But I mean, he's awful. And honestly, if this the town's going to be destroyed just as much if you put him back in charge of it as it would be if the Seraphs absolutely destroy it. You think you know what you're talking about, but you don't. You didn't just come in here and save us because we were twiddling our thumbs for 234 years. That's not how it works.
Right, but if the Bone Lord is still alive and out there somewhere, then you don't have a reason to go away.
My personal psychology is not your business. Your business is on fire because of the Seraphs. So why don't you worry about you and your new best friend, and we'll take care of that after if we save the town. And if you have bonus time, maybe you could read a book and get some fashion sense.
If she has bone us time, Mark's gonna look at Locrian and just sigh and go give him a look like, you know where I'm going with this, right?
Locrian yeah, that's my name. Locrian nods, but he's got like a very solemn face on because he's just overwhelmed with like all of the things. All of the things. There's so many things.
Mark's just
like now is not the time for funny.
Yeah. Mark's just gonna sigh and go, well, I tried. Time to go free the Bone Lord.
No, okay, so you do you want me to let him out then?
Well, I think everybody except Dai seems to be for it, so that's the majority vote.
Alright, do you want me to put the stupid collar on him?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Put it on. It puts the collar on its skin. Do it.
I think he just has a skeleton, really, but
You can never be sure with liches. Yeah, Bone Lord seems perturbed, but does put the collar on. Yeah, with that, do you all let him out of the cage?
Coming out of my cage, and I've been feeling just fine. As long as he sings that song.
oh my god.
He does not. He is still sulking.
Mark's gonna leave it up to Bob to open the cage, but just sort of does the whole, yeah, I'm good with this decision. Let's do it.
Okay. So Bob opens the cage, and the Bone Lord walks out. And it's like, okay, so what? Now we just go kill angels? It's fine. Normal Tuesday.
You know, it always does feel like a Tuesday. Yeah, that's the idea. Let's go.
Okay, Miev, as you find your bag of things that Torino would like helpfully labeled, one of your smuggler buddies comes up to you and goes, "Hey, I am the elven woman whose name that I forget."
Gilmarie.
Gilmarie. Gilmarie says, "Well, I think I might have a way to help your captured friend out. Should we give it a go?"
Let's hear it.
And she snaps her fingers, and a large owl appears on her shoulder. And she says, "I think we could probably send old Steed here to make a delivery for us."
That sounds great. And Mia's gonna give the owl the bag of Torino swag.
Is there anything else we want to give him? Any notes to give him a plan or something like that?
Don't die.
Yeah, Mia's gonna turn to the group and say, "Do we have a plan? Should we tell Torino something?"
Just as a heads up, he was going to be executed tomorrow at noon.
Does he doesn't know that, does he?
Torino would not know that, but the seraphim that came down last time.
Well, aren't we all being executed at noon, more or less?
They're going to start their charge after the fact, but yeah.
After the execution, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we should absolutely put that in there.
All right. Mia will write the note.
And also ask him if I can have his phoenix after he dies. Again.
Yeah, Mia adds that on at the end.
Okay. And with that, you stash the note in the bag containing the rest of Torino's items. And Gilmarie snaps her fingers once again, and the bird becomes invisible, and you hear the sound of flapping wings as it flies away. Torino, you have been held pretty well restrained, but in a celestial prison of sorts. And as you are watching the night slowly go on, listening to faithless preaching and seeing the mercenaries that the seraphim seem to have hired on kind of roll their eyes in exasperation, a package lands at your feet containing the previous note and all of the magic items that you requested.
All right. So a ring of mind shielding, armor of radiant resistance, and a frost brand longsword.
Yep.
Very nice. Am I still tied though, hand and foot?
If you'd like for it to, the Frostbrand longsword can just be a charm or something that you can put on the. Oh no, that's right. Excavator was broken.
Yep.
Forgot about
that. Excavator.
They bent it into a horseshoe. Yeah, they did. So maybe not all is lost. But yeah, that is what you have in front of you.
All right. Am I still tied hand and foot or no?
You are imprisoned within this cage, but not bound hand and foot now.
Okay. So I think I would take the time to attune to all of these items.
Okay, easily done.
And then what can I see 30 feet around me?
It looks like, there's, you can see the war machines off in the distance. They're further than 30 feet. There's probably one seraphim within about 30 feet, and probably a good 20 of the mercenaries.
Okay. Is there any type of cover 30 feet away or anything like that? Like a house or
roll a perception check for me.
Don't know if that went through. Probably don't notice. It's a 7.
I will remind you, you do have a D6 if you would like to add anything to that.
I will try a D6, yeah. It's a 4.
Okay, get you above 10. Yeah, you see an outhouse about 30 feet away.
I'm going to Misty Step to the outhouse.
Okay. So you have Misty Step to the outhouse, and what do you do once inside of it?
I'm going to crack the door open and see if I can find a way back to the castle.
Okay. You will need to make a stealth check for that. I will remind you that you do have one crit left. So we're gonna go ahead and get you to roll that stealth roll for me. Everybody knows that paladins are incredibly stealthy.
That's pretty good.
That's really good. I'm going to give you a D6 on that. I'm gonna go ahead and do that because I'm a nice man. Well, I'm not that nice apparently. So yeah, try to help you out. You feel fairly stealthed as you get maybe 100 feet or so away. You do hear commotion behind you as people have noticed your empty chamber and the fact that you seem to be scurrying away into the night.
Gotcha.
So they are aware that you have escaped,
Okay.
and they seem to be mobilizing to give chase.
All right. As long as I can, let's see. Just check something real quick. Yeah, no, I don't have anything. Yeah, I'm just going to keep heading that way then.
All right, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me. We're going to see if you can outrun these folks.
Usually pretty good at those, but not with that one.
Is that a 10?
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, you find yourself getting a little bit winded. Your knees were stiff from having been in that cage for so long.
Can I cast haste on myself?
You can cast haste on yourself. If you cast haste on yourself, that will solidly get you to where you need to go.
All right, I'm gonna do that.
All right. So with yourself freshly hasted, you make your way back to the rest of town, and you see various groups beginning to arm and organize themselves. And so, since this, and you can see Maev, Bark, Blokrian. I don't know about Lady Di, Bob, and the Bone Lord, who you might not have met before, all having a conversation outside of the front of the castle.
And I'm just going to mention as I run past them, hey, they're coming.
That's what she said.
Oh my god.
1d4 psychic damage.
Bark's gonna hide, I think. Get ready to fight.
Yeah, if y'all look, it actually looks like they have stopped giving chase after he cast haste, and they have kind of gone back to their fortified positions.
Okay. Then I won't hide.
Since we're coming up on the halfway point, I think that now would be a good time, since this is going to be a full scale kind of battle thing. I think now would be a good time to discuss who is leading whom into battle. We do have a lot of various groups and factions within the city, and I'm sure some of them would be more receptive to you than others. So just a reminder, we have like Miev's smuggling crew, we have the Werebeast, we have the Myconoids, we have the vampires, and other various undeads. There's a lot of kind of social circles, and you all have kind of established yourself as the leadership within the city. So whichever group you want to lead into battle, you can.
Well, I feel like we had asked the Myconoids to go under and try to fill one of the tunnels with water.
Mhm.
Is
Okay.
that still happening?
Is that still the plan, y'all?
Was that to get the trebuchets out of commission?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
to get like the heavy equipment out of
Mhm.
mission and see if we can. I mean, it wouldn't hurt if anybody fell down in there and died.
Okay, I think unless y'all have any objections, Bob will volunteer to go on with that one since it's.
Oh yes, I think that actually was the plan, or it should be. That's a good plan.
Yeah.
Since Bob, doesn't breathe and can hold just endless amounts of water in his pockets.
Perfect.
I think Mark will go with the weredogs, but not so much leading as just like fighting with them, because Mark's going to be going in and out of stealth a lot, I imagine.
Okay.
Hopefully not shouting orders, more sneaking in, causing surgical distractions.
Okay. Maev, who are you leading in battle?
Yeah, I think Miev's going to take the smuggling crew, and then any people who are interested going. I think we were going to take the tunnels out and try to come at the Seraphim from behind.
Okay. Could certainly make that work. Locrian, who are you leading into battle?
I feel like. So I kind of have this image of Locrian and Lady Di kind of like leading the most front-facing charge in a way. Maybe not we're maybe not on the front line, but we are like absolutely like on the field with them.
Okay.
Because I would assume that like Locrian and Lady Di are kind of like the most public faces of the group.
Yes, that is a fair assessment.
Like Locrian couldn't speak, and Lady Di can't stop. No offense.
No, that's fine. I mean, I didn't get a +12 from persuasion and performance by giving nothing.
Right. So I think we're leading like the forward charge.
Okay. Torino, who are you leading?
Probably the couple of paladins that I also had from my order.
Okay. I think the vampire, the two like teenage kids, and
yeah.
But before everyone splits up, to Miev and Bark and Lady Di, Torino would cast Aid.
Okay. And what do they do?
So Aid is going to increase their maximum hit points.
Okay.
Okay.
I just had it too.
By 5.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a lot, but
helps.
Are y'all taking a rest and making this attack in the morning, or are y'all running at night? I think y'all might still be damaged from the extracting Lady Di from the fire earlier.
But I mean, realistically, could we?
Yeah.
I mean, could we take a rest?
The angels have announced their intention to strike with the light.
Could we take a rest and still get out in the dark?
Wait a minute. They said they were going to kill Torino at noon. and
Mhm.
then come over. But has the timeline changed because they don't have a Torino to kill?
It would be a gamble.
So is darkness on our side?
I mean, they have true sight, so they can see just fine either way.
Right, but do they get like special magical powers? Like I guess I'm kind of like,
Make a religion check, religion or arcana.
Also, I imagine Bark would have at least 10 minutes to inspire everyone, which means everyone would get 15 temporary hit points.
ooh,
Excellent.
What are the minions again?
The minions are just kind of rabble,
Ooh.
you know,
Okay.
humans, half orcs, gnomes.
Randos.
how many of there are us?
There's several hundred.
Oh well, I mean, like I was looking at the Twitch, and oh, there's 5 of us. Okay, that's great because I have 5 bardic inspirations. But they only last 10 minutes, so it's not going to help us. Like, I can't give everybody a bardic inspiration, then we can all take a rest, and then I replenish my bardic inspiration. And nope,
No.
that's not how that works. So never mind.
So the decision to attack at dark or meet them head on in the day is up to y'all. It's whether or not you want that rest.
I think I'd like to attack them before the sun comes up, but I also want as much rest as possible. You had us level up, so even though I was down to like 30 hit points,
You would have the new hit points from your leveled up, so you would be at 40 whatever probably.
I didn't keep track.
Well, then I guess you all will have to take a rest, then, won't you?
Okay.
Um,
Sorry, guys.
well, hey, we're at five retweets now, so that's another d6 to the everybody's.
Ooh,
I
lovely.
think if we were going to take a rest, I'd hold off on the aid, but just before we split off, that's when I would cast.
Okay. All right. So with that, you all decide to take a rest, and any last minute preparations that need to be made before the battle, summoning another steed, casting any spells, any bardic inspirations will be made when we get back from our break. So thank y'all for hanging in there with this kind of negotiation heavy first half, and we will get to the dramatic, exciting battlefield conclusion of Empires and Epitaphs when we get back from our break.
Yeah, we'll be right back in about 10 minutes. Be sure to hydrate, stretch your legs, and grab a snack if you need one. Be right back. And we're back.
And oh, yeah. yeah. We are super back. Thanks so much, everybody, for hanging out with us during the break. And staying tuned. And now we are going to move into the dramatic battle scene that we've been building up to. So before we move into battle, is there anything that anyone would like to do to kind of prep any last minute spells, any mechanical preparations, anything that we need?
Yes.
Maybe.
Go ahead, Hilda.
Now I'm going to cast Aid.
Okay.
Also going to, since it's a 10-minute spell, summon Steve.
Okay.
And I'm going to wait until we can see them at the very far edge, so like a minute out, and then cast Magic Circle to block Celestials from coming into the circle.
Okay. Magic Circle's only a 30-foot range, right? Or a 30-foot radius, right?
It's actually a 10-foot by 10-foot.
Oh, okay. All right. So it'll close off a little bit of the area.
So 10 feet by 10 feet.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's for me to be in.
Yep.
It's for Lady Di to
Oh,
inspire
okay.
the masses from within.
Okay. All right. Noted. Bark, what were you about to do?
So I'm just going to make sure I've got that Horn of Valhalla handy.
Okay.
Ready to summon the Berserkers when needed. And then also I just wanted to make sure that... so what I'm thinking with the grenade and how it works. Just explain it just so we're on the same page. So what I'm thinking is something like, sort of like a Pokeball, where it's got like two halves, and the bag holding is in one half and the portable hole's in the other half. There's just like a thin membrane between the two. And the pin prevents the hole from, prematurely breaking that membrane.
Okay.
And then so you pull the pin and toss it, and then when it impacts on anything, that thin membrane just sort of shatters, and the hole is able to go into the bag, and that's when it detonates, essentially.
All right. I think that can work.
So yeah, just she's got that ready. She's got her Horn of Valhalla ready. She's got that Ring of Mind shielding on, and is just gonna be sneaking.
Okay. Cat, anything?
I'm good for now.
All right. And Lady Di and Miev, is there anything that y'all are wanting to do?
I think that Miev and the smuggling crew probably head out a little bit earlier to try and, time things appropriately. Back at the same time.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Lady Di has been wandering around and talking to everybody, and she knows everybody's name in the town and little things to say to everyone. And is thankful to everyone, and so that they feel like part of it and encouraged. But there isn't anything like mechanically that she's going to do.
Okay. Go ahead and make just a general charisma, or just a general charisma check for me.
Like a charisma,
Just
persuasion.
a check. You're not really persuading so much as trying to make people feel good about themselves.
Okay, it's a 16.
Okay. And yeah, that's with your enhanced charisma, right? From the Iron Stone.
I think so.
Okay.
I'm a little unclear.
Okay.
So. Oh, it orbits my head.
Yeah, it's super wild. I've got to wrap just one last thing up real quick.
Oops. Sorry, I didn't mean to I'm like, now I'm going to be doing a lot of charisma checks while I'm trying to actually figure out my character sheet.
No problem. It's all good. Okay. And okay, all right, it's cool. So I've done the prep work that I need to do, and you all begin marching out towards the battle. You see various like the forces beginning to mobilize and move. You begin to see heavy artillery starting to rain once again. Raven, as you're getting ready to leave, you find Bob approaches you with a yo-yo and says, "This is a magic item, and it has infinite string on it. So if you want to put the thing on the bad thing on this, you can just kind of send it out, and you can maybe get a little bit more range out of it this way."
Huh, that's a good idea.
I really don't
Yo-yo
want to
bomb.
be near that when it goes off.
Yeah, that's a good point. This gives me ideas. Thank you, Bob.
Okay. So with that, everybody begins to mobilize and move out. Miev, since you were leaving first, why don't you go ahead and make a stealth check for you and the rest of your group?
Sorry, did you say for Miev or Bark?
For Miev.
22.
Okay, 22. All right. Do you want to add a d6 to that?
Sure.
Okay.
If you say it like that. 24.
24. That is exactly what you needed to get past their passive perception. Okay. So you and the rest of your smugglers have kind of successfully navigated the the kind of on the outskirts of the invasion force, and are behind them when this conflict is going to start. Bark, what were you doing?
So Bark is going to kind of give the weredogs like initial instructions, like probably something like, make sure you watch this flank and try to cause as much chaos in their ranks as possible. And then is going to go into stealth and look for important targets to harass.
Okay, so go ahead and make a stealth and insight, and then an insight roll for me.
Okay. So I would like to look for where there are one or more those celestials grouped together at some point.
Okay. All right.
Just as a heads up. So stealth roll. It's going to be a 22
Okay.
with that reliable talent.
All right.
And then insight will be a 17.
Okay. So yeah, you feel adequately hidden. You're not quite sure you're hidden enough to avoid detection from the Seraphim,
Okay.
but you're definitely able to not be noticed by the average rank and file or the paladins. You don't really see, it looks like most of the Seraphim are about 30 feet away from each other.
Okay. Then I'll,
And
I'll look
you can
for,
kind of, with that insight check, you can tell that there's definitely a pecking order. It's the mercenaries at the bottom, the shiny paladins acting as a go-between between the mercenaries and the Seraphim.
Okay. Then I want to probably look for like better cover to go try to hide again before I get closer to the Seraphim.
Okay.
But seeing where they are and that they're all about 30 feet apart, Bark has an idea that she's going to try when she's able to get close enough.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check for me. And are the dogs doing anything as you're doing this?
I assume attacking the rank and file, like leaving the Seraphim alone for the most part, but trying to keep the grunts occupied essentially.
Okay. So yeah, the battle is officially beginning. As
22 on perception.
Okay. Yeah, you can find some places that you think might be able to give you a little bit of extra hiding.
Okay. Can I make another stealth check?
Sure, you can make this one at advantage since the dogs are distracting.
Fantastic. Nat 20, 32.
Nice. Yeah, you are confident that no one is aware of your presence.
Fantastic. Here's what I want to do. I want to sneak up to the Seraphim that are about 30 feet apart.
Mhm.
And now that I have this wonderful infinite string yo-yo, I would like to loop it around, like sneak up behind them and like loop it around their foot a bunch of times, like moving to each one, to where as many of them as possible are linked to each other via this yo-yo string.
That will be very, even with a nat 20 on your stealth roll, they are still, they do have the ability to not be surprised. So
Okay.
that will still be very difficult. You're welcome to try, but it will be difficult.
Yeah, would that be like a stealth check?
Yeah, that would be, actually that would be a sleight of hand check.
Okay. I'm gonna roll for it, but is everyone okay if I use a crit on this if I don't get a high roll?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that would make it an 18. I'm gonna use the crit to make that a nat 20.
Okay.
Be 28 on sleight of
28.
hand.
All right. And you're, yeah, are you, how are you going about this?
So basically, I just want to very, very quietly sneak up behind them, um, loop the. It doesn't even have to be like tight on their leg. Just basically loop the string around their foot. Like if they're flying, I guess probably it wouldn't need to be on top of their foot or something like that. But essentially make it so that if I were to yank on that line, it would immediately coil and grip the leg.
Okay.
Sort of like a trip wire. And do that to as many of them as I can.
Okay. All right. So what we're gonna say while you're doing this, Miev, you're attacking from behind, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make a. We're gonna call this just a dexterity check for you and all of your allies. I imagine they're more dexterous than they are attacky, and add your so make it a dex saving throw.
Dex saving throw.
Yeah, it's technically a dexterity check with your proficiency bonus, but that's the same thing as a dex saving throw.
It's a 21.
Okay. Yeah, y'all are able to provide enough harassment from the back that some of the rank and file have to move to the back to cut off some of your attacks. Torino, what are you up to?
Let's see. Probably after I've cast the circle, I'm going to head right down to the front and be just outside the gates, waiting for whoever gets close.
All right, go ahead and make a say strength plus proficiency bonus.
Oh, jeez. I am rolling horrible tonight.
Ah, you're killing me, Tonino. Yeah, you're finding yourself. You're good and ready to fight, but you are just swamped by more paladins than the rank and file. So you've bit off a little bit more than you can chew at the moment, and within the first round or two, you're going to take. Going to take 22 points of damage as you are just swamped with enemies. You're holding your own, like you're giving out as good as you're getting, but you're kind of on the losing side of things right now. Your situation is not ideal at the moment.
Gotcha.
Okay, Lady Di and Locrian, what are y'all doing?
What's in front of me?
The invading force.
Am I within 60 feet?
Sure. If you're not now, you will be very soon, yes.
Oh dear. Lady Di, what are you doing?
So Lady Di has spent some of this time changing outfits, and so she is now wearing a very high-necked, long-sleeved, very big skirted, very gold outfit, and she has several lanterns around her, so she's lit up from every angle, and she's standing there looking extremely patriotic, and has her battle umbrella and her shears, and is sort of being the figurehead. And I think that one of the things she's done is told all of the regular people, if they are undead, to be, and even if they're alive, to be as super creepy as possible to the mercenaries, because the mercenaries are just there for the money, right? So if they get creeped out enough that it isn't worth the money, so not only are they attacking, but they need to do it in a really creepy way. But then if they meet any paladins, they have to sort of switch gears and become extremely adorable. And especially the living people, just seem very misguided. So that's sort of the performance that she wants to have them do as they're attacking.
Okay. Well, you said performance, so I think that's what we're going to have you roll.
Okay. I actually have plus 13 performance.
Jesus.
Oh, which is good because I only rolled a 9.
Don't you have reliable talent?
Oh yeah, thanks. So it's a 10, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So it's a 24.
It's hey, 1 point's 1 point.
No, it's good.
Yeah, you. They are definitely getting the better of some of the low morale rank and file. You see their ranks starting to break up a little bit, and the paladins are kind of having to be pushed to the front to lead by example.
Right. I'm just sort of picturing like the we do have a like an undead pet store that we haven't
Mhm.
talked about in a long time, but I feel like if all the undead pets are running around being creepy and like all the like people who could take their heads off are, and they're like killing too, but they're mostly just sort of being spooky, right? That would really freak me out if I were a mercenary. So, but yes, but Lady Di herself is standing there completely lit to also grab attention because she doesn't really think she's going to live through this anyway, so she might as well get as much attention and distract as many people as possible.
I mean, that's fair. Okay, Logrian, what are you up to while Lady Di is doing this?
So I think I want to cast Shatter as a level 4 spell.
Okay.
And I want to cast it as deep into the rank and file ranks as I can.
All right. Go ahead and roll for damage on that. Or go ahead and cast the spell. Shatter's a saving throw.
Oh, right. Constitution saving throw of 17.
It does not matter.
Oh yeah, it doesn't. So 3d8 done.
3d8 plus an additional d8 for each higher level that you're casting it at.
Oh, so it's 5d8.
And that's 19 points of damage. Yeah, you actually managed to take out one of the war engines with this as well.
Oh yeah!
And you see just a score or so of bodies being flung violently away from the source of the spell.
Is it very satisfying? Is it a very satisfying?
It is a very satisfying. Very
Explosion?
satisfying. It's a sonic boom, more or less.
Woo.
Okay.
Oh, can I, as a bonus action, can I cast like, I don't know if thaumaturgy is a bonus action?
It's an action.
It's an action.
Yeah.
Never mind. I want to be intimidating. Say something
Okay.
intimidating.
Go ahead and make an intimidation check for me then.
29.
You are what are you saying to be intimidating?
I'm probably taking a I don't know if I'm saying anything specific. I think I'm just being really like scary and trying to like scare more of the mercenaries as Lady Di instructed.
Yeah, they are breaking in mass in front of you.
Sweet.
Okay. So man, from the let's go ahead and give Bob an intelligence check. Oh, Bob's not doing excellently. That's not a super high number, not as bad as a 4, but not super great. So the streets still have not collapsed yet, and you all see. Well, Mav wouldn't see; she's too far away, and Bark as well. But the rest of you would see the Bone Lord kind of in the background, doing hand gestures, and the fallen mercenaries kind of deeper in are rising as zombies. So Miev, we're going to go back to you.
Yeah. I would like to cast Mirror Image on myself, which gives me 3 duplicates to both to help me not get hit, but also hopefully be a distraction while the rest of my crew attacks.
Okay. And as you're casting Mirror Image, you see that some of the rest of your crew is casting illusion spells as well, like hallucinatory terrain, um, the phantasmal force, major image, minor image, kind of that variety of spell. And it seems like they are, it seems like the troops in that area are being kind of disproportionately pushed forward. They are more interested in fleeing than fighting. And between that and the retreating troops from the advancement, things are getting really clustered together in the middle. Torino, what are you doing? Are you still trying to hold like a street to yourself?
Well, I still have the other paladins and the vampires with me, right?
Yes, you do have them as well.
And we do have the trebuchets.
Y'all do have trebuchets, yes.
And I'm proficient in martial weapons. So I'm probably going to leave them and go start firing trebuchets into the group of paladins and the mercenaries that are there.
All right, go ahead and make a ranged attack roll.
All right. I do have a heavy crossbow, so just use that.
Yeah, you choose the heavy crossbows. It's shows statistics. I will, as a kindness to you, remind you that your smite spells or your divine smite would work in conjunction with this trebuchet as well.
Yeah, I'm probably going to throw that on there too. Branding smite.
Okay. Who are you aiming at?
Just the big cluster of paladins out there.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Okay. It did roll, and it came out as a 13. Can I add a D6 to that?
I would recommend it.
Okay. 5.
5, excellent. So 18. 18 will make a big difference. Okay, yeah, you begin to
and the
just start raining trebuchet bolts down, and it is go ahead and roll. We'll say for damage for that, make it 3d10 and add your smite damage as well.
All right.
I think it's a d8 maybe.
I don't know if that's going to
2d6 or something like that.
It has 24 plus 2d6, which you can throw the 2d6 up there, which is another 9.
Okay. Yeah, so that's 33 damage then. Yeah, you kind of wreck shit up. That is not a place where people want to be standing. And go ahead and make a general melee attack roll to represent how well your troops are doing.
All right. With the great sword, it was a 24.
Okay, yeah, your troops are using this distraction from the trebuchets to their advantage, and they seem to be pretty well holding the force where they were. And as alongside they are, laying folks out, killing them, and the Bone Lord is regenerating them as allies.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Bark, what are you up to?
So Bark, once she's done with the little tripwire type setup, I can't remember if she knows if they can't be surprised or not.
Yeah, y'all figured that out with the encounter on the roof.
Okay. Then, honestly, I think Bark would probably have done it this way either way. Um, I think she's going to act as if she's accidentally come out of stealth and sort of do like an, oh no, you'll discover my tripwire. And then do a thing.
Okay. Go ahead and make a deception check for me.
Okay. That's not the one doing. This is the way. Deception. 22.
Okay. All right.
The next thing I'd like to do is attach that nope bomb to the yo-yo and just toss it at least 10 feet away from me.
All right.
Preferably
So,
towards one of them, but just like in their general direction. But yeah, attached to the yo-yo.
all right. So, here's the table that I am about to roll.
Oh dear.
It's no fun if it just works the exact way it's supposed to in the book. I'm gonna do roll on that. 9.
9. To the abyss.
So as you throw this ball out, and it opens, and there is first the sound of sucking air, and screams as hundreds of people are drug into this. Not initially because of the the suction pulling them into the abyssal plane, mostly because of the plethora of giant tentacles that seizing an opportunity reach out and begin pulling everyone within arm's reach
Or
into
tentacles
the
reach.
abyss. Bark, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Okay. It always comes back to tentacles.
Always.
24.
24, okay. I'm going to use 2 crits to have 2 of the angels escape.
Okay.
And the other 2 will be pulled into the abyssal plane. Alongside a lot of other things. And there's a few, a keen eye would notice that it looks like some trades have been made. Maybe some things from the abyssal plane made their way out here. That's a little bit of terror for the combat. Okay, Lady Di and Locrian, y'all have seen this strange black pit suddenly open and close and drag in maybe a radius of about 75 feet, almost everyone inside.
Lose a trebuchet too.
Yeah, no, they lost several war machines in there.
My, that was a thing that just happened. Huh.
That I'm not sure that was Bob and the mushroom people. What have they been growing down there? I think that I'm going to try to I want to protect the people as much as possible that are fighting for us and keep them inspired. So I want to try to keep the attention of the remaining seraphim, because I also know that I'm in the circle that they can't come in, but they don't know that. Or did they know that? Did they know that?
Well, you do have the mind shielding, so they might.
No,
not
I know,
that.
but they can't see it with their true sight or whatever.
The true sight's only out to about 10 feet.
Okay. So I'm going to sort of like, I want to seem extremely alluring and like, maybe I'm just going to be like this to them.
Okay, go ahead and make a persuasion check.
And I have a plus 13 on that. Yeah, okay. So I got a 10. I'm not rolling great tonight, but with a plus 13, that helps.
23 is still money. Okay, yeah, it looks like one of the two seraphim is beginning to make their way over to you.
I'm gonna be like, I gotta tell you something. Come here. It's gonna be so funny. Come here, you're gonna love it. Right, and mostly I'm just trying to distract them. I don't actually have like a plan.
Okay.
A very good plan yet, but I'm going to come up with a good plan.
All right.
I think my main plan is to be inside the circle where they can't really get me, and maybe harass them as long as possible until someone else comes up with a better plan.
All right, Lokran, what are you up to?
Are there definitely abyssal creatures that came out from the
Yes.
abyss? I'm gonna cast. Wait. I don't speak abyssal. I'm gonna cast tongues on myself.
Okay.
Tongues, and I'm gonna make it so that I can speak to these abyssal creatures and maybe try and persuade them to join our side in the fight.
Tell them they can get 25% off any of the Better Business Bureau businesses downtown if they come and are tourists in our town. Tell them that.
I also tell them that I'm super sexy and I could be their best friend and teach them how to get how to talk to people they are interested in.
Okay, go ahead and make a persuasion roll for me.
Let's be real, that's probably deception.
Ooh. Can I use a D6 on that? Do I need a D6 on that, or how?
I mean, I would put a D6 on that.
Okay. If that's cool with everybody, we've got a few.
Go for it.
Oh yeah, I know how to type. Oh, perfect. So that's a 23.
Excellent. Yeah, it seems like, I mean, they were kind of here to cause shit to begin with, but it looks like they are more on board with causing shit for the other people more so than you.
Perfect.
Tonino, what are you up to?
Yeah. Do I see the Seraphim heading over towards Lady Di?
Yes, you do.
I am going to just run in passing by her, tap her on the shoulder, and cast protection from evil and good.
I thought you were with the trebuchets.
I was. I don't know how far away that is from her.
Trebuchets are pretty close to the castle.
Okay.
So it's a sizable distance.
Probably wouldn't even get there with haste then, would I?
Probably not, no.
Okay. Well, I am going to keep firing the trebuchets then and try and hit the Seraphim.
All right, go ahead and make that range attack roll.
All right. Nope. That's a 12.
That will not hit one of the Seraphim, no.
No.
Okay.
Even adding a D6 would not hit them.
You would need to roll a 6.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I do have 2 attacks, though.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and make your roll for it then.
All right. I'm going to roll again then.
Have a rapid firing trebuchet. Sure, why not?
That one should hit. Come on. 21 to hit.
That will hit. Roll damage. That's 3d10 damage.
All right. That's pretty good. 24.
Excellent. Yeah, you lay a big old trebuchet bolt into its chest. It seems unhappy.
Good.
Is this the same one? Is this the same one that's approaching Lady Di, or the other one?
Yes.
Okay.
So for Bob. All right, that'll do it, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Around this time, you feel the ground begin to rumble, and I need every one of you to make dexterity, except for Hildian. Hildian is safe on the castle, but I need the rest of you to make dexterity saving throws.
Oh. That was a nat 1.
Oh.
Fortunately, you're a ghost. You can just pass right through.
Question. This
Not
this
going to
is
be
something-
dignified.
Would this be considered an ability check that adds my C bonus to it?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, it's not a 16. It's a 18.
Okay.
Mine's
Um,
25.
Damn, Lady Di, you safe.
Yeah, I think it just like ruffles my skirts and makes my lighting like flash a little and look even more compelling.
So does that mean they've now ruffled your petticoats?
Yes,
The mini
in a very
petticoats.
compelling way.
I had a 26.
Nice. Okay, so with that, the streets open up, and probably the majority of the soldiers that were still around fighting, because the tunnels that the Myconoids dug went pretty well directly along the street lines. So as the tunnels fall in quick succession, and the combatants fall and land in the water, all of you manage to leap to a nearby surface and avoid the watery canal that has appeared before you, that is thick with what seems to be some kind of carnivorous algae, much to the dismay of many of the soldiers and paladins. Y'all managed to be safe, except for Locrian.
Which is fine because as a non-corporeal being, I am not susceptible to carnivorous algae.
Well, these grow in a town full of dead things, so we'll get to that soon. Yeah.
I should take half damage.
Don't you backseat DM me, boy.
Hey, if you were a rogue, you probably would.
Yep.
Because evasion.
Yeah, but if I was a rogue, we'd be like 5 rogues and a paladin.
That'll be our band name.
You'll take 12 points of damage as they feast on your ectoplasm just a little bit. Okay, so that will bring us back to Miev.
What's the situation like at this point?
Chaos, unadulterated chaos. Most of these streets ahead of you have collapsed, and a large chunk of the fighting force has fallen in. Appears to be less of an inconvenience for your roguish companions, who are all able to pretty deftly leap from detritus to detritus and deliver swift blows.
Are there any more war machines? And where are the 2 seraphim that are remaining?
One of the seraphim is dealing with Lady Di. The other has floated skywards.
I think the plan is to head towards the front, and just sort of like try and take things out while we're running forward.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll for me.
Natural 20.
Well, fuck me. Yeah, you and your group are just carving a line, pretty well solidly bisecting the remaining fighting force. Yeah, it's chaos. Bark, what are you up to?
No good is what I'm up to. I think Bark just probably takes the briefest of moments to just enjoy the sight that just happened of the Seraphim being drug into the abyssal plane by a yo-yo string.
Mm-hmm.
And then is gonna fire off that Horn of Valhalla and summon some cool Vikings to come help us fight.
All right, that's 3d4 plus 3.
I believe so. Yeah, 3d4 plus. Would you like me to roll that?
Yeah, go ahead and roll for that.
Okay. 3d4 plus 3. So 7 berserkers.
Would you like to add a d6 to the roll?
Oh, heck yeah. If you want me to add a d6 to that, absolutely.
Sure. It's the last episode.
Why not? Let's throw another 2 in there.
All right. So 9 fresh fighters join the battlefield. Fresh berserkers join the battlefield. And they start wreaking havoc. Yeah, go ahead and make a... I don't know, roll a d20 plus, we'll say 6.
4?
Well, what?
24.
Oh, 24. Okay, I thought you said 4. I was like, that's not how numbers work, Raven. You can't roll a d20 plus 6 and get 4.
The 2 is silent.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is apparently exactly what these berserkers wanted to do today, and they just start wrecking shit. Thoroughly and efficiently wrecking shit. Torino, what are you up to?
You're muted.
Thank you. Is there a large cluster of paladins anywhere?
They, I mean, kind of. They're in the canal. What is now the canals?
Let's throw some trebuchet shots at them.
All right, go ahead and make your 2 trebuchet attacks.
Don't think that one's gonna hit. 11?
11 will not hit.
All right, I didn't think it would.
But they are prone, so you have advantage.
Oh. Well, that's a 16.
Okay.
Oh. Although it says 14 here. I don't know. 14 hit?
14 will not hit, unfortunately.
Right.
It will hit some of the rank and file that are in the chaos with them, but not any of the paladins.
I do have 2 attacks.
Yep. So go ahead and make the second attack with advantage.
I don't. Well, that would be a 18 to hit.
18 will hit some of the paladins. Go ahead and roll that 3d10.
All right. It's 27.
Whew. Rolling good on that damage. Yeah, okay. That'll you seem to have skewered a few of the paladins.
Yay. Do have bonus action, but I don't have anything planned for it, so we can go.
All right. Locrian, what are you up to?
You're muted, cat.
So the celestial that came up to our bubble that was being distracted by Lady Di, is that still there?
Yes.
And or how close is it?
It is at the bubble.
So is it within melee range of me, or
Yeah.
How does this bubble work? Can I like move in and out of this bubble as necessary?
Because of the parameters that Torino cast it as, yes. Under
Okay.
different circumstances, maybe not.
I'm gonna try to swing at this thing with the necromancer.
All right, make your attack roll.
17.
All right, 17. Do you want to add a d6 to that?
Okay. Is that cool? I want to see this thing in action. If that's cool to everybody.
Yep.
Oh. Does that do it? 19?
19 will do it.
Sweet.
Yep, so that is 1d8 plus 3d8. Plus 1d8 plus 3 plus 3d8.
Right. No, not an 87. So that is the slashing magical slashing damage.
Magical is very important in this situation.
It's magical slashing and 3. And that's the necrotic damage.
All right, so 4 slashing damage and 20 necrotic damage. As where the blade hits, you see the angelic feathers kind of turning black and searing off, and the being screams in pain.
I'm gonna stick my tongue out too.
Okay.
And go nah, nah. Bad.
Okay, so this is what Lady Di is going to shame the Seraphim and make him feel really bad for being a jerk. And she, one time in book group, she learned that Seraphim are mainly try to reach their goal by peaceful means, and that they mostly only come down to this plane looking like mortals, so they don't hurt anybody. And so she's gonna try to use that to shame them and be like, my word, it's rather gauche of you to come here. Look at you. Just look at the destruction you've caused. You are supposed to be some all-powerful being of God and goodness, and look at all this destruction and badness that you've caused. I say, did we attack you? No. We were just living our lives. This has been a test for you, a test you have failed. You have caused carnage and destruction, and goddess would be very put out at you.
Okay, make a intimidation check, we'll call it.
What about deception?
But I thought this was something you learned in book club.
Yeah, but I mean, but God, I don't know what God's gonna say.
What about persuasion?
I'm just making it up. So I would say it's either deception or persuasion, because I'm like, this is what I learned in book club, but.
All right, we'll say go ahead and roll deception then.
Oh, that's good. Because I only rolled a 2. Do we have any more of those D6s around?
We've got 3 more left.
Can I use one?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Didn't that 2 go to a 10 because you're a rogue?
That's right. It is. I forgot.
Yeah, it's still a 23, even if it's a 2.
That's true. But now it's a 26, so he's extra sad. And she's like at her full like righteousness, and she's in all gold, and she's shining bright like a seraphim, and she's like, "You have hurt so many people's eyes. You haven't dressed like a mortal. You've been terribly badly behaved. You have not been respectful or shown the way that God would want you to, and you are going to absolutely go to a timeout when you get back to the celestial plane, and you should. And how embarrassed must you be that your wing is all broken? How are you going to make this better?"
And the figure looks crestfallen and says,
Sorry,
and
Mom.
says nothing to you because you have a helm of mind shielding.
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. You'll have to say it louder for everyone in the back.
Can
I hear it?
Yeah, you can hear it.
Do Celestials not talk? They can't have talking?
The Seraphs only speak through telepathy.
Well, if you're not going to say anything, then you'll have to let your words prove your actions. And you better do it right away, or I will tell on you.
Locrian, you hear, "The loud one has a point. I have brought shame on my race. Give me the unholy artifact you wield, and my brethren and I shall be on our way."
What unholy artifact? What are you talking about?
Sword.
I can do you one better.
Less chatter. More action.
I have his grandson.
Oh, yes. Oh my good. You know, we have gotten off on the wrong foot, and I just want to say that the next time you visit, I'm going to give you, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a parting gift, and it's going to be 25% off to any of the stores, the Better Business Bureau, and the Bone Lord.
Quick question. Can Bark hear this at all, or is Bark too far away?
Make a perception check, Bark.
Okay. I'm hoping I can't hear this, but... Oh, God, that's a 32 nat 20 on perception.
Yeah, I think you hear this.
Yeah, Bark's gonna yell back, be like, kind of made a deal that says we can't hand him over to them.
I wasn't part of that deal. I was in a different room. If you would like that, you will love it, and I will absolutely.
The sword is his phylactery.
Yeah, well, Lady Di is my phylactery, so no.
What is he saying?
Lady Di, you're only hearing the Locrian
Right.
side of the conversation.
I'm your phylactery? Oh, that's hot gosh.
What did it say about a phylactery?
We need to have a conversation about this later. You
Bark
can't
is
just go
yelling at
moving
Locrian.
in.
We'll say that Bark is probably, if Bark's close enough to hear that, Bark's probably within 60 feet. So you would have heard the statement that the Bone Lord's the Necromancer is the Bone Lord's phylactery.
I do have a ring of mind shielding on as well.
Oh, you don't? Okay, well then never mind. No, you don't.
The ring of mind shielding does allow you to choose who can telepathically talk to you. So if they wanted to hear the answer, they can, or they can block it.
Hey, resubs.
May I roll an insight into what Locrian is doing with his face?
Sure.
Admin says, "Look, a phylactery."
Oh,
All right. So with a 22, I'm gonna be like, spit it out. What? What are you? What are you?
They want this, and here's my. I don't want to give it up.
Locrian.
Sword, do you want to get given up?
Oh God, no.
We're letting a sword decide the fate of everyone after all this?
No, they're gonna take me to heaven, and it'll be really boring.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. I went to another plane once, and it was terrible. I didn't know anyone.
So, how are we? I guess and this is more of an in character sort of question. How are we looking as far as can we beat this?
Y'all are making great strides. You're suffering losses, but you're wrecking shit pretty thoroughly.
So
I think I'm gonna take my ring of mind shielding off.
Huh?
I think I'm gonna take my ring of mind shielding off and be like, we need this to be done. What is it gonna take for this to be done? You tell me right now, Feathers, what needs to be done. And you're gonna go away, and you are not gonna come back here because you have made a hot mess out of everything and embarrassed yourself.
If the spectral one relinquishes the lich's phylactery that he we will leave.
Wait,
How
that's
bad is this
phylactery?
guy looking? Is he looking bloodied or?
The Seraphim?
Yeah.
He has the they have the trebuchet bolt in him, but it doesn't look like that did all the damage in the world. I mean, they definitely felt your attack, but they are still standing very strong.
And when you say leave, do you mean forever leave, or just you're gonna go take a rest and then come back?
You will be under surveillance, but we will cause no further harm for the next 100 years.
Well, you're going to be under surveillance with me.
Bart
All right,
does
do
call
it.
out and say, well, we only made the deal not to hand the Bone Lord over to them. We didn't say anything about his phylactery, so go for it.
Locrian, you
Loophole.
have to.
But the Bone Sword is way better than the Bone Lord.
I know, but then he'll die, and then I'll be happy. And we can't.
And then
have
you're
this.
gonna die.
But it's a hot mess. It's a hot mess here. It's gauche and terrible, and we can't have it. Who would want to come here for tourism? It's on fire.
I'm gonna attack the dude thing. I'm attacking with the necromancer.
Okay. 23 will hit.
Oh god. Math.
Well, a 23 would hit. But I'm going to say that I'm going to use my last 20, and the Seraphim is going to catch the blade. As you would have had to get at least the blade portion outside of the circle to attack it.
But it still has Bane of
Oh yeah, it doesn't say you hear a sizzling sound.
Does it do any damage?
It does some damage. You can go ahead and roll the Bane damage if you want.
Okay. $11 damage.
Okay. Yeah. You see some of the feathers along its hands starting to wither and wisp away. And it says, I have what I want. Relinquish the blade or you come with me.
Where are we going?
3, 2,
Let it go. Let it go,
1.
Locrian.
Is this a reaction area?
And am I up there? Is Miev up there by the time this is happening?
Go ahead and make a perception check for me, Miev. You're probably
That's
not far
good for
away.
me.
You're probably not super far away.
It's a 10.
Do you have reliable talent or anything?
Not on perception. That's a wisdom skill. You're bad at wisdom.
You see kind of a like you got a little distracted with how you don't remember this being a canal town, but it seems like it's a canal town now, and you're I mean, unless you want to use a d6 on there, that's about all you're gonna get.
Which
Yeah,
actually
let's
ended up
use a
working out
d6. Is there
really
one?
well for our cover art, by the way. Canal
Yeah.
Town.
Oh yeah.
I'll use a d6.
Okay.
That's a 4, so a 14.
Okay. You're not too far away. You can see that Locrian is holding. Locrian and the Seraphim are both holding on to the same sword.
Okay. I probably can't do anything with that. Still. Cool.
So Locrian.
So Lady Di is gonna come over and like put her hand over Locrian's hand on the sword and look at him and be like, "Let it go."
I feel like I need to roll for this. Because, like, I'm indecisive as a player. And I don't know if Lokian would...
Can I roll persuasion?
Absolutely, do that. Okay, he lets go.
And as you let go, the two Seraphim vanish. Alongside the necromancer. And you hear a pained scream coming from near the castle. And a quick glance behind you, you will see the Bone Lord burst into flames. The paladins are all staring around, confused and bewildered, and the rank and file have dropped their arms and seem to be surrendering. There is a skeleton surrounded by skeletal pets that seems to be kind of rounding people up at the moment, aided by a very awkward-looking dragonborn. There's someone who, sensing that the tide of battle has turned in the favor of the city, is walking around handing out free rainbow flag dice. All the various odd little NPCs are making appearances as the camera pans over everything, and it seems as though the battle is over.
What about that seagull?
So
They don't come out in the morning. It's morning now. They've all gone to bed.
Oh,
We only have nighttime seagulls here, remember?
that's right.
And like I think like right, the sun is rising and it's like the next day, it's the dawn of the next day, and Lady Di looks at everybody and is like, "Look, we've won! Isn't that exciting?"
Torino's going to go up to Lady Di and say, "You're good with words. Can you convince him to join, the rubber chickens instead of the rubber duckies?"
And I'm gonna look at them and I'm gonna say, "If you don't join the rubber chickens, this will happen to you." And then my entire body is gonna fall apart.
Okay.
Because there's no more reason for Lady Di to be there. So she's gonna use her last action to scare the bejesus out of them, which is a 25. Deception. So they buy it.
Okay.
I got a plus 13.
I'm gonna try and cast Irresistible Dance on Lady Di.
As I fall apart.
Immediately before you fall apart.
Until you drop.
You
Yeah,
can't.
all my body parts are dancing independently of each other.
You can't go if you have to dance. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
I'm not sure.
And the soul leaves Lady Di. The spell fades, and the body parts fall fall.
Did she happen to put her ring back on?
No.
Ugh,
The mind
That's-
shield one?
yeah, because your soul would have entered the ring.
No, she pulled it off to bitch out the seraphim.
But you were still attuned to it.
True.
Yeah,
Could be
you
in
would
the
still
ring.
be attuned to it.
So Locrian could still communicate with you if he took your ring.
Oh God, Lord forbid Lady Di have any kind of afterlife. I think
So-
we're going.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could. Locrian could take it.
I
Yeah.
think we're gonna do a quick time skip into about 6 months in the future.
Oh, I have an
Uh,
epilogue.
Okay. No, everybody have your epilogues ready because we're about to hit there. The town is almost finished rebuilding. Heavily populated now with the mercenaries who have decided that maybe war isn't for them, and they should take up residence in this town that has so openly welcomed them after they tried to wage war, as well as the mercenaries who fell during the invasion and now find themselves as sentient undead in a world that is not always so kind to the undead. It is things are bustling, things are moving along. The city looks a little different. It is now a canal city, and you can see many a gondola being pushed from one street to the next. Some things you just can't really recover from, but it's you can see a few skeletal porpoises swimming in the canal, a skeletal ray, along with some brightly colored tropical fish, making their way into a canal that is quickly forming reefs just a little bit below the water. And we see a sign that says a canal to die for, with a plaque kind of detailing the history of the battle and the founding of the city and what has happened. And the camera's going to pan to each of you for your epilogue, or lack thereof, if you decide that that was the end of the day. We're going to start with Bark.
So, Bark has made the tavern, bigger and better than ever, and has specifically developed a drink in memory of Lady Di. The drink involves probably something like tequila, and lots of hot sauce, and various other ingredients that would make it painful to drink, probably give you a hangover the next day, but has a funny way of growing on you. And I think that's her tribute to Lady Di, and I think Bark's also gotten into the real estate gig to provide housing for all these new residents, and is probably wheeling and dealing to make some profit there.
Yeah. Excellent. Torino, how does the future look for you?
So Torino's going to keep working on the church and training the new paladins of the rubber chicken. Also stopping over frequently to give Bob horrible cooking advice. And probably just has when a lady dies rings in the on the altar at the church.
I think
As,
above that altar we
and then-
see the straightened and repaired exkilator as well. Some of Bob's handiwork.
that would also be there in a case then.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
All right, Miev, how does the future look for you and your crew?
you're muted.
You're muted.
You muted there, Face.
Is it working now?
Yes.
Perfect. I think Miev has really settled into the flower shop business, and probably will still like act as a front for the smuggling business, but they're not going to go out on any more um, excursions, I don't think.
Okay.
And they're pretty
They're not
distraught
pretty,
over
they're
the.
beautiful.
Of course, that goes without saying. But I think they're really distraught about losing both Terrence and Lady Di. So they have set up like daily bouquet specials that follow the Lady Di's color of the day as best that Miev can remember it, which probably is like not great, but the effort is there. And also the flower arrangements are still not that great, but there's a couple good ones every once in a while, which is definitely due to, the influence of both Terrence and Lady Di.
Excellent. Locrian.
So, in his despair, Locrian has gone back to being mute.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not. It's. I don't know who is and who isn't familiar with selective mutism. It's not that it's a choice, but it's not like it's not that he can't talk. It's that it's a lot. It's a lot of spoons for him to talk. And he's kind of keeping up with. He's mostly keeping up with the like zoning board and working with Park with the real estate and finding new homes for people and doing his work. But I guess like the end scene here would be he kind of goes back to wherever his lair is and picks up a battle umbrella and a music box and blinks to the ethereal plane, and he sits like he opens up the battle umbrella and sits underneath it and just opens up the music box, and it's playing The Girl from Neverwinter, which is like the fantasy version of The Girl from Ipanema.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just waiting.
And what does the afterlife look like for Lady Di?
Well, I think so. I think if we skip forward in time even a little more, and we see that Locrian is like just waiting and waiting and waiting, that like some period of months go by and maybe even years, and finally, like across the plain, you see this like version of Lady Di that's like much younger and has like real hair and ribs and like is like more like a ghostly shape of like an actual human being and not like the whatever that. And she's like, oh, I say, it took me forever to find you. That music box is not loud enough. Oh, it is so dreadfully boring here.
Thaumaturgy doesn't work in the ethereal plane.
Look, my eyes have gone broken again. It must be from seeing you after so long. You've broken my eyes again. You'll have to fix them.
I think Locrian would be kissing Lady Di's eyes.
No.
Sorry. But she doesn't really want to. And now she can be a ghost too. Perhaps. We'll see.
And I think with that, there's one final scene. A quiet moonlit night. Only the sounds of the nocturnal seagulls cawing in the distance.
My favorite characters of all.
And we see two youths getting to know each other in a gondola, taking advantage of the cover of night. And
that kind of getting to know each other.
and from above them, we hear a familiar voice go, "No room or anything? That's just so gauche." And we feel the sensation of another specter just silently, judgmentally shaking its head. And that
And
is
then
where
flipping over the gondola.
and that's where our story is going to end. So thanks everybody so much for watching this weird little campaign. It's been an absolute delight to run it. I hope it's been as much fun to watch and as much fun to play as it has been to DM it. But before we leave, let's let all of our cast go back through and remind you who they are, where you can find them, and I don't know, what maybe their favorite part of the campaign, or their favorite part of getting to know their character, just something. And this time we're going to start with Raven.
All right. So, a couple other real quick things. I think Bob definitely would have gotten a promotion. I forgot to mention this from Bark, including a pay raise. And I think Bark might have come up with some sort of scheme for that real estate thing, where like they get the land for free, but they like pay way more than they should for the building of the house. Just so Bark can go around going, "It's free real estate." Doing it for the memes. My favorite part was definitely Lady Di shaming the Seraphim into leaving.
Hey, Lady Di, way to end things.
That was amazing. And the fact that I've wanted to use a portable hole and bag of holding bomb in a D&D or Pathfinder game for ages. So actually getting to do it, and with like a very cartoony, putting the rope around everybody's legs so it yanks them on with it way, that was amazing. Exactly the brand of chaos that I think this campaign has been.
Arc branded chaos for sure.
Yep. So that was great. The whole campaign's been a lot of fun. It's definitely a very different type of game than I've played in the past. It was rather refreshing. My favorite stuff. Tomorrow you can find me. I'll be producing the finale of our vampire game, 1 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time with Zan, and then again playing with Zan at 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time tomorrow for the finale of Water, where maybe people will drown or maybe they'll be fine. We'll find out. Great. And as for other things, just sponsors, Fundamental RPG and Grinding Coffee Company. You can see the details on that in chat.
Excellent. So next we'll go to Hildian.
So, I'm Hildian. And my favorite part of tonight's episode was probably Raven's bomb. But my favorite part of the campaign was probably playing with old friends and making new ones. I had a blast the entire time. And you'll probably be able to find me lurking somewhere on Raven's channel, popping up in different things and chats and stuff. So
Excellent. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you again in the future then. All right. Face.
Yeah, I'm Face. You can find me on Twitter before I forget, and then I'll be around as well, or try to be. My favorite part of tonight, I really enjoyed the combat mechanic with the groups. I thought that was really cool. And I also super loved Bark's yo-yo shenanigans.
Thank you, Michael Wayne, for the yo-yo.
Yeah, it was a great image. And over the campaign, I've really liked getting to know everyone's character and getting more comfortable with playing with Miev's memory and figuring that out as a mechanic. That's been a lot of fun for me. So, yeah.
Excellent. Fantastic. And Calliope.
Hi, I'm Calliope. You can find me lurking around probably next season or on Twitter at Calliope or never having any free time as I work on my PhD. But one of my favorite things is the fact that Zan does not know until now, and he will never forget, that seagulls do not fly in the dark. They are diurnal animals, and how that became a
No,
thread of our whole campaign.
I'm pretty sure they're nocturnal.
Oh my god, they are not nocturnal. I'm at the ocean. I saw them all day.
Well,
So-
that's the thing. Have you seen them tonight?
No, they're sleeping.
No, they're just camouflaged.
So my husband is off screen, like giggling at everything we're saying. I love the relationship between Lady Di and Locrian. And I also really love Miev and how, like, the role-playing aspect of the things that Miev would do because they couldn't remember, and how sometimes it was really inconvenient, but it was really good for the character and the plot, and just like how Miev couldn't remember that we always had canals, and then we just do from now on. And I also really like the Myconoids. They were really great, and Bob. Lots of good stuff.
Excellent. All right. Last but not least, Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat. I played Locrian. This was an emotional whirlwind for me, this particular episode. You can find me at Kat and Schrodinger, or Kat named Schrodinger in most places. I played Locrian. He was the ghost of a tiefling bard who, until recently, couldn't talk, and now he can talk, but he kind of can't talk sometimes. He'll go to therapy and work with a professional on how to work through some of his issues. And yeah, like I really like this campaign. Like, I liked the fact that it was so goofy but could be so dire in some places. Like, these last couple episodes were really they were really stressful and dire in a way that I don't know that I've played before, and that's kind of I like that. Like, we spent the whole campaign being goofy and like really like kind of tugging at your heartstrings and making you fall in love with us, and then like the last 3 episodes is like, all right, and now one of us is gonna die now. That's kind of, it's gripping, and I like that. You can see me tomorrow for the last episode of the vampire game, La Famille Boucherie.
La Famille Boucher.
Oh, that French. Sorry. Go ahead.
Vampire game where I play Sinatra, who is not Frank Sinatra or spelled that way. But anyway, yeah, emotional hangover.
Don't worry, for the safety of everybody watching out there, we will have a bleed session after this. We'll make sure everybody's okay. But we'll take care of that off camera. And
what about you, Zan? What did you like?
Oh yeah, no,
Who are you?
Yeah, no, I'm
guy?
Zan. I'm a professional DM, storyteller, and content creator for 5e and World of Darkness and Powered by the Apocalypse and a whole bunch of other games. I this has been a chaotic game from the beginning, from the kind of spur of the moment decision I made to DM it when the original DM kind of didn't quite work out, and we've had some cast issues, and it's been an absolute whirlwind from start to finish. But this is one of the few campaigns that I've actually managed to see through to an end, and I am very happy to have been able to have this experience with all of my players and all the wonderful audience out there that's been with us as we've told this strange little story. But yeah, if you're interested in other stuff that I do, you can find me tomorrow, where I'll be wrapping up La Famille Boucher. And then after that, I'll be playing in the finale of Water. And next season, you can catch me in the sequel to Hunters of Calamity, where I'm not quite certain if I will be reprising my role as Sleeve Saya, the shirtless claptrap, which is going to
Aren't all
be
claptraps shirtless?
it's a state of mind.
Okay.
They do have like the little flap that goes over their arms, so you could consider those sleeves. Yeah, we'll see if I wind up preaching the sleeveless way anymore.
Oh,
And yeah,
there's going to be Order of the Sleeveless Way that show up.
Oh
The
god,
Guardians.
oh god, what a trip. Yeah, well, regardless of that, just I'm so happy that I had such a good cast, and I didn't know everybody at the start of the show, or anybody. I think except for Raven at the start of the show, and I'm leaving it with 4 new friends and some real happy memories. So just real happy that we've had the chance to do this and get to know each other and put on a good show. So thank y'all for that. I'm gonna stop talking now.
It was wonderful. Well, thank you again, Zan, for creating this world and campaign and running it for us. It was a lot of fun. Sorry that we kind of ruined some of your fun this evening with so many nat 20s and so much chaos. Thanks, people. Also, on that note, thank you to on the note of the cheer, thank you to everybody who donated both this session and throughout the whole campaign. Very much appreciated. And of course, thank you to the cast for being amazing and sticking with it through all the chaos that has been 2020 and trying to schedule around the chaos of 2020. This show in particular had the most just unavoidable scheduling issues and things like that. So it's been tough keeping the game on track because of that, for just things outside of everybody's control. But y'all really, I appreciate your patience and flexibility and everything. It's been great. Yeah, with that, we're gonna go on a raid. Just double check, make sure that she's still going. Yep. We're gonna go raid Milady Saito. Hit that timer. Who is a fantastic streamer, wonderful person, friend of mine. Definitely follow her if you're not doing so already. We've got a raid cry, which is now they are extra staffed. Yeah, I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.